Guys, you see, first of all, you can tell the guys like each other. You bring in high school guys in, guys from out the portal, guys that was already here, and you're trying to put it all together. First of all, the guys like each other. Effort is really what we've been kind of honing in on, and guys are trying to fly to the ball. The great thing is they're trying to do exactly what we're asking them to do, and that's all we do. We tell them there's gonna be stuff that you have to correct every day, but control what you control, and it's fun. It's fun to coach those guys.
Bumps and bruises here and there at linebacker. I know last scrimmage you guys probably put a lot on Jaheim Thomas. How did he respond to that? What are your thoughts on what he can bring to the table?
Yeah, it was good to get him out there and get those scrimmage reps. And, he didn't go through spring ball at the last place he was at. And to get him some live reps is always good. And we went in with the mindset to get him a lot of reps, just to see if he could just work the rust off or whatever you want to say. But did a really good job. He's doing a good job and very smart, very detailed, takes a lot of notes. I'm happy he's with us.
Who was in here the other day, and it seems like to me that he's been here forever, But when you think about it, he's only really started 2 games. Just talk about his part. He and Crook started the bowl game for you, or how they doing, and then Antonio Greer's the guy last spring that Greer for all trade. I know he was hurt today, but talk about Greer and
Right.
those guys.
All three of those guys are doing a great job, and just a new defense for all of those guys. And, what's always exciting is to see, okay, the growth, with the football IQ and just learning what we're doing and different concepts. And all of those guys have a really good football IQ. All of those guys come to work every day and love to come out to practice. So it's been good. Pooh is very detailed, and he takes pride in his performance. Same thing with Crook, same thing with Antonio. Even when you watch him in the summer workouts, and the way those guys bond together and work together. And, we need all of it. We need everybody in that room. So we talk in terms of, man, we don't have starters, we have standards. So if the standards are, if you uphold the standard, you'll play. So all those guys work well together. Proud of all three.
3 high school kids that came in. Sanford didn't come in at midterm. I think the other 2 kids, but how are they coming along? Coach Pittman has praised those guys from time to time. What are you seeing from them, Coach?
All three guys, man, I think all three guys have bright futures here. And, all of them at a great pace of just being able to help us at some point, this year, special teams and maybe on the defense. All of those guys have a skill set. You can see that they are SEC players. Brad Spencer's one that we put in at so many different positions because he could do so much. But all those guys have high ceilings, and we're very, very happy with their progress right now.
Specifically with Pooh being out, I know it hasn't been ideal, but that allowed Crook to, you got to see him with the first team a lot. I wonder specifically on Crook, what did you see from him during this period?
Oh, just a true leader. He a warrior. I just I love the kid, man, because he in the workouts he's always when they're racing or they're running sprints, he's always trying to be first. He wants to lead. He has that Mike linebacker mentality. That you want on your team, and we see all those guys like Crook. Crook is a starter for us. Poole is a starter. Antonio's a starter. Jaheim is a starter. Like all of those guys are going to play, even the freshmen. So we need all of them. And I'm like Crook is a really really good leader, really really good person. So I'm glad he's on our team.
Has struggled to get quality depth on every level of the defense for years. But when we look at this roster, it seems like you're building, rotating a bunch of linemen. You're talking about the backers, and the back end seems to have some. Can you maybe talk about across the board where you feel with depth?
Yes, I think we have enough depth, and it's just like anybody else. You don't want to get anybody hurt, but you got to get guys ready. That's why we two spot, so there's always guys always getting reps. So you start with the defensive line. I think Coach Adams has done a heck of a job with the defensive line. It's first with the relationship with the players that he have, and also the way he coaches them and teach them. We got depth on the defensive line. I can just say that. So very very happy where we at there. And then we already talked about the linebackers, but on the back end, Coach Wilson and Coach Wilson does a great job. Same thing, relationship people, and also being detailed in their teaching. So we got enough depth to get the job done.
And talk about buy-in from players and stuff like that. How's the buy-in so far from the coaches and the communication between the coaching staff, particularly on the defensive side?
Oh, the buy-in is, you're a pro, right? We're pros. So when you buying in as a coach, it doesn't take much. It starts with our head coach, Coach Pittman, and his leadership, and his direction for the program. And whatever he's saying, we want to be aligned to exactly what he wants us to do. So I go into the defense room, and this is what we're going to be. And we have good coaches, I'm just blessed to be around Coach Adams and Coach Woodson and Coach Wilson, and even our analysts and GAs. So there's not a lot of room now. They just have good people in the rooms, and we're blessed to have good people.
Will depend on matchup and everything like that. But the numbers say you blitzed a lot, and you're fast. I mean, I'm curious, where does that aggressive mindset, does that come from a former coach, somewhere where you were a player? Where does that kind of stem?
I think it's all situational. Can you get to the quarterback with just rushing four? Or do you have to bring more than four, bring five, bring six? I think it's all situational. But a lot of times offenses put defenses on their heels. They give you pace. When you got to get lined up, they give you unbalanced. They'll give you formation in the boundary. So a lot of times defenses are kind of reacting. So it's always good for a defense to throw a curveball and make the offense panic a little bit. So that's my mindset when it comes to blitzing. But everything is really situational. Do you need to blitz? And you don't just blitz just to blitz. So, but I do like to throw the kitchen sink at an offense and make them work at something that they saw the week before.
There any specific intangibles with the freshmen that have maybe allowed them to be, I don't know, further along than you expected? I mean, Coach Pittman seemed, when he talked to us, very impressed with where they are right now, the linebackers.
Yeah, I mean, I think all three of those guys, and just shout out to their high school coaches. All of those guys, man, they learn ball pretty quickly and easily. And, like Brad Spence is doing some really good things out there. Carson Dean is doing some really good things. And then Alex he didn't even go through spring ball. And you can just see right now, he's just running to the ball as fast as he can go. He likes to play physical. And he's learning the system. He's just 12 days into practice. But you can see, like, the skill set on all three of those guys.
Coach, already you've talked a lot about relationships, and that's something obviously, this is your first year in Arkansas. How do you believe that relationships will help define this defense, especially in this year?
I think a kid will run through the wall if you care. I really do. Like, you can, we don't cuss our guys, but you can be dog cussing a kid or talking to a kid. Like, that's not how we operate. But we're going to coach them hard, but we're going to put our arms around them. It's okay. It's okay to, like, put your arm around a kid and say, man, you did a good job. It's okay to tell him, hey, man, you got to tighten up and run to the ball. And then when he runs to the ball, man, that's exactly what we want you to do. And they appreciate that. Like, we have the guys over the house and our wives are involved. And I mean, that's where the relationship comes in at. And we do a lot of things with the defense. And we do a lot of things as a team, to be honest with you, to bring the relationship as a team together. But I think that's important. They'll run through the wall once they know you care.
You've seen your DBs go up a lot against the wide receivers. What do you think of that wide receiver group, and who really stands out for you?
Shoot, man, they got a lot. They got a few of them over there. First of all, I think Coach Guyton does a great job, and then Coach Enos does a great job of calling and putting them in positions to make plays. And they got a lot of length. They got speed. Tesla, I think, is really good. I think Luke Hass is good. And I could go on and on, but it starts with the players because they have the skill set, but it also Coach Enos and Coach Guyton putting them in a position to make those plays.
A lot of fall camp is getting mental reps, especially for the younger guys. Are there any players in particular that stand out that you've kind of seen a light bulb go off?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to see the growth of all the players. Guys like me, Jaden Johnson, he's showing flashes, and Day is showing flashes because it's new to all these guys. So just to see them learn defense, the new defense, and being able to go out and execute the new defense. But all those guys, I just named a few of them, even the newcomers. Al is doing really good. Snacks. So Jaheim Singletary that just got here. So I could go on and on and on. But I mean, all of those guys are really picking it up, and the main thing is just I think the coaches are doing a good job of teaching them and getting them to understand the concepts and different things that we're trying to do.
Travis, I was wondering what your take was on the scrimmage last week, and then what you're anticipating for this second one on Saturday.
Yes, sir. Last week, one thing we want to go out there, like we always tell the guys, if you mess up on a play, we didn't coach it right. You control your effort. You control a stupid penalty, being outside, holding or something like that. But we want to see that effort. So when you're watching the defense, when you're watching, like, man, golly, they play hard. Now we want to execute, and the execution was there as well. But we really want to make sure they're playing fast and they're playing physical. Now this scrimmage, the second scrimmage, now, okay, we're playing fast, playing physical. Let's make sure we're executing at a high rate.
Mentioned Deacon minutes. I kind of like to joke about being an old guy and having to say that yet. But he's in his second year here now, and with a lot of the new guys. Just wonder what your take is on Deke and having some continuity there with the D line. So that's been a room that's had a lot of fun.
Right, man. And it starts off, with Coach Adams and just again his relationship with the guys and Deke Coach Adams is a good coach. He's loyal. But he's a pro. He's a pro. So I remember meeting Coach Adams like years ago. He was at South Carolina. So we ran into each other there. But he does it the right way. He coaches his guys the right way. He's a leader with his guys. He's loyal in the room. Whatever. T. Will, what you want me to do? Let's go. What's the mission? And that's the same thing with Coach Woodson and Coach Wilson. So again, we got a great room. We don't go in there like we don't do bad energy. I told him we don't do bad energy, and nobody comes in there with bad energy. We don't want any energy vampires. And Coach Adams is like that older statesman in there with a lot of wisdom. So we're blessed to have him.
I think you mentioned James Thomas a little bit earlier. Just what kind of a skill set does he bring to the table, and what's it been like working with him behind?
He just walked in the room, so I can't really say now. Just really good skill set, smart. Can change the direction. He brings length to the room. He can cover out the backfield. He's doing a really good job for us. Quiet, like you see him in the back right now. He's not saying, he don't say anything in the meeting. He'll ask questions, but quiet and very detailed. A pro, take notes, and then he'll come talk to you one-on-one and ask questions. So he's one of those guys that just love ball and always taking notes down and want to get the fine details of everything.
Those players that are improving and can eventually maybe help the program.
Yeah, all of those guys are improving. Donovan just got here. Caden is improving. Brooks Both is improving. Brooks Both, man, he gets a lot of reps for us on special team and defense. Like, he's very valuable to our team. Man, I'm happy they on the team, and all of them gonna have a chance to help us.
Well, I think he's gonna be somebody that probably sees action on special teams.
Oh yeah, no, ain't no problem. He is. Like, Coach Fountain loves him because he does a great job. He does a good job and come to work every day, and we're proud that he's on our team, and he really, really helps us out a lot.
Danny was in here with us yesterday, and he was very complimentary of what y'all are running, and he just said that they're challenging our rules. And I just wonder what you think of, the interaction you're having with him on that level.
Shoot, Coach Enos, he's making me better. He does so many different things that make us have rules, and so many different formations. And, it's not one of those just line up and go fast. It's like you got to get down there and you got to process what they're doing and different things, different shifts and motions. And again, like you hear Coach Pittman says it all the time, like he's one of the best play callers he's ever been around. And I've experienced that the 6 months I've been around him. Very, very smart. Does some things that can really, really hurt defenses. So you got to have some things as far as rules. So they do things to make us better. And in return, we do things to make them better.
Today, we saw a lot of the fastballs and stuff where you guys were breaking up a lot of passes. I mean, winning the day, so to speak. What have you thought of maybe the start you're out to in those terms?
Yeah, we want to start fast. That's the thing. We want to start fast. And our emphasis today as a team, Coach Pittman wanted the offense to give us more tempo. And they came out today and they gave us the tempo and they got some yardage on us. They was doing some really, really good things. And Coach Enos, like I said, he does a great job. But we need that. We need that tempo because we'll see it, during the season.
Coach Woodson about this the other day, but you're leading an all African American staff on defense. But I don't know if it's been done in the SEC or anywhere. What just your thoughts about maybe the historic nature of that?
Yeah. First I would say this because that was brought up to me. First of all, we want to hire good people, right? We want to hire good people. When the players look at us, what a husband look like, what a father look like. We want and what a great coach and a great teacher, great recruiter, all of that stuff. Right. I also understand the responsibility. I get it. Representation means a lot. Representation means a lot. So for people to see that, I get that also. But I'm deep in my faith as well. And I understand the representation that I got to have. I got to represent God as well. So when I'm out here, when I'm talking to the players and when I'm coaching, I know I got an audience of one as well that I have to make sure I hold the standard. But I get the representation. I get the responsibility. We're not going to shy away from that. I'm also not going to shy away from making sure I'm representing, my faith the right way.
talk to me about the defensive staff. It's where you guys are all from. You're from South Carolina, played at Auburn. Deacon from Mississippi, Mark from Mississippi, Darren from Louisiana. SEC players generally come from SEC states in recruiting. How important is that to have all those connections with you guys? And what is your philosophy?
You know what? It's good to have those relationships because I mean you got to you go to these homes and you go to these towns, you got to just know who that champion is and have the people to get you in the homes, you know, and relationships is big. But our philosophy is this right here. We got a great product here. We got a great product. We got great facilities. We got great coaches, and you know we got great players. When they come here, they could get around our players. So we don't like 5-star, no star. Don't we going after the person that we think can help us win games. So we don't shy away from anybody. We don't look at it like, oh man, that's a long shot. We look at it like if we get them on campus, we got a chance to get them. So just that mindset of no, we're not just taking just anybody. We want to take the best that's on our board, you know. So that's our philosophy and our mentality.
When looking at personnel out on defense, sometimes the defensive ends are flip sides and linebackers and safety. Is that based on the boundary? Is that based on the strong side? Is that something that you'll even do game to game?
It's different game to game. We have a formational defense where we got to line up formationally. Then we have a defense where you get lined up to the boundary. Nobody moves. We just let the offense get set and we can adjust from there. You know, especially with a lot of these fast-paced teams that we'll play. So you have different philosophies on who you're playing, and you have to just have a game plan as far as the tempo that you're facing.
On the scrimmage the other day, and I think Marcus said first time for him down. How did it go, and what do you think about moving forward?
It was, to be honest with you, could see everything from up there. I like to be on the sideline because my energy, and I think the players like my energy because just I'm like that parent, right? I'm in the stands, you know, the parents in the stands, and their son make a tackle or whatever. I'm the same way as a coordinator. Like I'm happy to see them make a tackle, but at times you want to have like that poise and get the next call out. So when you're in the booth, you can get to the next call really quickly. But one of the players make a tackle, I may be jumping up or whatever on the sideline. So it was different. This scrimmage, I go back up again and just get a feel for it, and we'll kind of make a decision from there.
Spence a couple of times. What is it specifically about Brad that's allowed him to do all the things he thought?
Yeah, he has a physical presence. He comes in and you can see him. Like he's a sophomore, junior in college, and he has heavy hands and does a really good job striking, has really good change of direction, has really good speed. He's learning the system. So the sky's the limit for him. He has a bright future. Awesome. Next up, y'all see them 3 guys back there, Crook, Hayes, Pooh, Thank y'all guys.